Hello and welcome to AWS Certified DevOps Engineer course. In this video, we are going to discuss the prerequisites, course overview, and what are the things that will be covered to get this exam, and what are the exam blueprint going to be like. So, as you see, we are on the AWS site for AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professional Examination, and it's telling us to the prerequisites and what it is this exam is going to validate from the examiner point of view. So it need to validate the ability to implement and manage continuous delivery systems and methodologies on AWS, understand and implement and automate security controls, governance processes, and compliance validation, deploy, define and deploy monitoring matrices and logging systems on AWS, implement systems that are highly available, scalable, and self healing on the AWS platform, design, manage, and maintain tools to automate operational processes. Apart from that, it needs, as we discussed earlier, it need a certification, associate level certification, either a developer or the SysOps administrator, and it needs some 2 or more years of experience in provisioning, operating, and managing AWS environments. It needs some experience in developing code in at least one high-level programming language, experience in automation, testing, and scripting, and it will be good to have some overview on agile and other development processes and methodologies. So, what are the exam overview going to be? So, as we discussed, it needs some prerequisite certifications. It will be a multiple choice and multiple answer questions, 170 minutes to complete the exam, and it's available in English. The fees is going to be $300 US dollar, and this is recommended taking DevOps engineering on AWS. Okay, we'll see that later. This is the exam blueprint. So let's click and go there. Okay, so this is the exam blueprint, how it is going to be. So the introduction part is like the AWS DevOps Engineer professional exam is intended for individuals who perform a DevOps role. So the DevOps role spans from developer to operations. So they are responsible for automating the operations task, and as well as it includes reducing the efforts in running the code, deploying the code in production environment. So it reduces the whole process. It uses the agile methodology, and it's so that to reduce the efforts in bringing the code from the development to the production environment. So we'll discuss this in detail in the coming lectures. So it we already discussed the introduction part, prerequisites, and what are the AWS knowledge that need to be having for giving this examination. So we should be knowing about the compute and network services, storage and CDN, database analytics, application services, deployment and management. And it need a minimum of 2 years of hands-on experience with production AWS systems. Effective use of auto scaling, where to use it and where to not. Auto scaling is a very useful as well as dangerous feature of AWS. Dangerous in the sense it will cost you a lot of money if you're not implementing it correctly. So be very careful while implementing auto scaling. If you are giving some wrong rules or wrong settings, it's going to cost you within few seconds. So be very careful while using that. The next thing is monitoring and logging. So how to monitor your cloud infrastructure and how to get the logs and store the logs for troubleshooting and auditing purposes. So apart from that, the AWS security features and best practices, how we are going to secure our cloud infrastructure, and what are the best practices that need to be followed. So these things also need to be gone through before going for the DevOps course. Design of self-healing and fault tolerance services. This is the very great thing to know. because all the cloud infrastructure is all about providing us a highly available and infrastructure as a code solution to the customers. So we should be knowing all these things. And now the next thing is like techniques and strategies for maintaining high availability. That is also while architecting the AWS infrastructure, these things need to be known very thoroughly by the architect. And these are the basic prerequisites which need to be have for learning the DevOps culture. And apart from that, the DevOps engineer should be having some general IT knowledge. He should be knowing the networking concepts, strong system administration, either Linux, Unix, or Windows, a strong scripting skill set, multi-tier architectures. He should be knowing load balancers, caching, web servers, application servers, databases, and networking, templates and other configurable items to enable automation. As you know, in AWS, the templates, the there are multiple templates that are used to deploy infrastructure in cloud formation. So these things need to be covered, need to be known before initiating the DevOps course. Apart from that, deployment tools and techniques in a distributed environment and basic monitoring techniques in a dynamic environment. So these things need to be known by the person before initiating the DevOps course. Now, exam preparation. So these training courses material will assist in exam preparation. So you can go to these links, white papers, training materials, security at scale. These links will be very helpful in knowing more about the AWS cloud infrastructure. So response limit, there will be three formats of questions: multiple choice, multiple response, and sample directions. So you can just go through this document to know more about these things. And there are four domains basically where where the questions will span. The first is continuous delivery and process automation. That will cover 55% of the questions. And the second domain is monitoring metrics and logging. So that will cover around 20% of the questions. Domain 3 is security, governance, and validation. So that will cover 10%. And high availability and elasticity, that will cover 15%. That is the fourth domain. So this is how the distribution of questions will be in AWS DevOps examination. So let's just discuss about the first domain, that is continuous delivery and process automation. So it contains like you need to demonstrate an understanding of application lifecycle management, application deployment management strategies such as rolling deployments and A A by B, version control, testing, building tools, and bootstrapping, demonstrate an understanding of infrastructure configuration and automation, implement and manage continuous delivery processes using AWS services, develop and manage scripts and tools to automate operational tasks using the AWS SDKs, CLI, and APIs. The second domain will be monitoring metrics and logging. So, monitor availability and performance, monitor and manage billing and cost optimization processes, aggregate and analyze infrastructure, OS, and application log files, use metrics to drive the scalability and health of infrastructure and applications, and analyze data, collect and for monitoring systems for discern utilization patterns, manage the life cycle of application and infrastructure logs, leverage the AWS SDKs, CLI, and APIs for metrics and logging. The third domain is related to security, and it also includes governance and validation. So it will cover the implementation and management of identity and access management and security controls, implement and manage protection of data in flight and at rest, implement and automate and validate cost controls for AWS resources, implement and manage automated network security and auditing, apply the appropriate AWS account and billing setup options based on business requirements, implement and manage AWS resources, auditing and validation, use AWS services to implement IT governance policies. So this things will cover the security, governance, and validation domain. Now the fourth domain will be high availability and elasticity. So this will be like determine appropriate use of multi availability zone versus multi region architectures, implement self healing application architectures, implement the most appropriate front end scaling architecture, implement the most appropriate middle tier scaling architecture, implement the most appropriate data storage architecture. So these all things will be need to focus on in high availability and elasticity domain. Now the next thing is demonstrate an understanding of when to apply vertical and horizontal scaling concept. So these things, if we pondering upon, it will be of great help in cracking the exam. So we need to focus on these topics while preparing for this exam so that we can effectively get through this exam. So thank you for listening. We will meet in next video. Have a great day.